This is VOA News. On remote, I'm Marissa Melton. Venezuela said Saturday it is suspending talks with the political opposition to protest the extradition to the United States of a close ally of President Nicolas Maduro. Venezuela had intended to make that ally, Alex Saab, part of the delegation to the talks in Mexico City. Instead, he was arrested last year in Africa's Cape Verde, from where he was extradited on Saturday. This, according to his legal team. The Speaker of Congress, Jorge Rodriguez, said the government will not attend the next session, which is due to start Sunday, in protest. Earlier, a senior U.S. official confirmed that Saab had been put on a plane to the United States to face money laundering charges. When Saab was arrested 16 months ago, he had been making a stop on the way to Iran for what Maduro's government later described as a diplomatic humanitarian mission. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Saturday laid flowers outside the church where a lawmaker was stabbed to death on Friday in what police say was a terrorist attack probably linked to Islamist extremism. The attack on David Amos from Johnson's Conservative Party comes 5 years after the murder of Joe Cox, a lawmaker from the opposition Labour Party. The killing has prompted a review of the security of elected politicians. Taliban authorities pledged to step up security at Shiite mosques as hundreds of people gathered on Saturday to bury the victims of the second Islamic State suicide attack on worshippers in a week. Hardline Sunni group Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack on the Fatima Mosque in Kandahar, in which a group of suicide bombers shot their way into the mosque and then blew themselves up among the worshippers. VOA News. Czech President Miloš Zeman has been hospitalized for a week with no word to his constituents about what's wrong with him. Zeman was taken into intensive care on October 10th. No diagnosis has been provided. His doctors have not said how long he will need to recover. The president's silence is all the more worrying because the Czech Republic has just held an election, and it is the president's duty to appoint the next prime minister. President spokesman said Zeman has been in communication and following developments in the country. He said being in the hospital has not gotten in the way of the president's constitutional duties. NASA launched a first-of-its-kind mission on Saturday to study Jupiter's Trojan asteroids, two large clusters of space rocks that scientists believe are remnants of primordial material that formed the solar system's outer planets. The space probe, dubbed Lucy and packed inside a special cargo capsule, lifted off from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida. And South Korea plans to test its first domestically produced space launch vehicle next week. That's a major step toward jump-starting the country's space program and achieving ambitious goals in 6G networks, spy satellites, and even lunar probes. If all goes well, the three-stage rocket designed by the Korea Aerospace Research Institute will carry a dummy satellite into space on Thursday. The man who killed 5 people with a bow and arrow and other weapons in Norway on Wednesday was probably suffering from mental illness, according to police. The attacker went on a half-hour rampage in the southern town of Kongsberg on Wednesday, assaulting people in the streets and forcing his way into houses and into one supermarket. Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati said the government is keen not to interfere in any file related to the judiciary. This, according to a statement from his office on Saturday. The statement came following a meeting with the Justice Minister and the head of the Higher Judicial Council after 7 people were killed in violence in Beirut on Thursday. French Prime Minister Jean Castex paid tribute on Saturday to history teacher Samuel Paty, a year after he was murdered by an Islamist radical. He said France would stand up for its values of secularism and freedom. Paty's attacker, a teenager of Chechen origin, had wanted to avenge the teacher's use of cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad to teach a class for 13-year-olds on freedom of expression. Via remote, I'm Marissa Melton, VOA News.